Guys, I hate to break to you, but macOS is just way better than iOS. You might think I'm just joking around, but literally, I'm being honest here. I just find it way more intuitive than iOS, and here's why. Since Apple focuses on simplicity with its apps, they want to keep it clean. But what if you want to add widgets just to make the home screen look more better? Which they have done in newer and recent versions, but I would prefer if it's like introduced sooner rather than later. I mean, it's kind of similar story with macOS because they introduced it for quite a while as a dashboard. Then they brought it out to macOS Sonoma with the widgets on desktop, but I just felt like can't they just done that a bit earlier? But it is a great idea that you can add folders and files inside the desktop. It just makes it more easy to access. I would appreciate if Apple did introduce app shortcuts just so to make it easy for opening apps directly from the desktop. And it is convenient for Apple to have a dedicated app space with all the apps on here. Another thing I like about macOS, if I wanted to open an app, I could just search it up on the spotlight and then open it from there. Because I'm not sure what's the whole point about having an app library anyways. Like, you got a bunch of folders with some apps inside it, and then you have like that search thing with a list of apps. If Apple's care about simplicity, then what's the point of introducing the app library? I do find that changing settings inside the app makes it more easier, because what's the point of going into the settings apps, adjusting certain app settings there? Why can't you do it inside the app? Otherwise you have to go back and forth to the settings app and then adjust the settings. It doesn't make sense. When it comes to file management, I prefer the one on macOS because all your files and folders on there, and of course the library folder, which I wouldn't dare to manipulate anything from it. And if I did, there's going to be problems with the operating system, which that's the last thing I want to happen. iOS, on the other hand, is very limited. Certain files and folders you can't access, and it just doesn't make it as seamless compared to what Windows is like, macOS, and even Android's file management. I would prefer those. To be fair, iOS and macOS do have some differences. If I had to pick one, it's definitely going to be macOS in a way because it's just more intuitive, more seamless. Kind of gives me a bit of Android / Windows vibes, but hey, it's just perfect, and that's why I would go with macOS.